Hi everyone, welcome to yet another interesting and very inspiring story. And this week's story will be focusing on when God seems not to answer prayers. About 1971 BC, in the land of Serapeth, there was a very severe drought. It had not rained for years. All the rivers dried up, the brooks dried up, and all the crops died. There was a very, very severe famine, not for days, not for weeks, not for months, but for years. In this land, there was a very prayerful widow. She prayed without ceasing. She prayed for rain. She prayed for drought to come to an end. She prayed for food. She prayed for herself and her son. But unfortunately, the more she prayed, the more nothing was happening. More people died, more livestock died, and the more she was running out of food. One day, she was very desperate because she only had a handful of flour and very little oil remaining. And she knew she's going to make the last meal that day and then they die. So this morning, she prayed even more desperately. I believe she even asked God to give her manna. But by evening, nothing had happened. So, with no hope, she went out to collect some firewood so that she could prepare the last meal for herself and her son, and then they wait to die. As she was collecting firewood, she got a visitor. When she saw the visitor, he was a man of God, and she was a bit relieved, thinking that God has at last sent his servant with some relief food. Unfortunately, this servant had come with more trouble. The servant was hungry, and he requested this lady for some water and some bread. This, this woman looked at him and said, "I swear by the name of God, I don't have any bread, and I only have a handful of flour and very little oil remaining. And actually, I'm collecting this firewood to go and prepare the last meal for me and my son. Then we die." But the servant of God told her, "Go on with your plans, but first prepare for me some bread. Then you can go and prepare the bread for yourself and for your son with the remaining flour." But this lady was like, "Seriously? Is this guy serious? He doesn't understand. I don't have enough flour for the three of us." As she was contemplating and asking God, "Seriously? I prayed for food, and now you have brought another hungry stomach?" The servant of God went ahead and told her, "Just go, do as I have requested. Then that jar of flour and that jar of oil will never get out, will never get empty." So she obeyed, and true to the servants of God's words, the jar of flour and the jar of oil never went empty until the drought was over. I believe we are in similar situation. We are praying for this pandemic to come to an end. But the more we pray, the more people are dying. We are praying for economy to be better. The more we pray, the more our finances are running out. We are praying for some food. The more we pray, the more we are running out of food. We are even asking ourselves, where is our God? Today, I want to tell you, God is still on the throne. And He's answering our prayers. The reason as to why it seems like He's not answering our prayers is because God answers prayers in unexpected way. God answers prayers in unexpected ways. God does not give us what we want. God gives us what we need. Because He knows what is good for us. He knows what we need even before we ask. God knew this woman needed the servant of God more than rain, more than food, and more than anything else. Because if you continue reading this story, which is from the book of 1 Kings and chapter 17, at some point, this woman's son died. And the servant of God, Elijah, raised him back to life. So God could have given this woman the food she wanted, the rain she wanted, and everything that she wanted. But she could have lost her only son, whom she needed more than all these things. So, my brothers and sisters, today I want to tell you, God knew us before we were born. He knows our future. He knows what awaits us tomorrow. And He knows what is good for us. So, I urge you to allow God to do His will in our lives. Because our thoughts are not His thoughts. Our ways are not His ways. And that is according to the book of Isaiah 55 and verse 8. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you can get more stories as they come in. Till next week, God bless you.